Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and on this channel we talk about the raw vegan diet and lifestyle. And when it comes to health, when it comes to your diet and having a healthier life and all that, one thing I want to make pretty clear is that the solution to any dietary health related issue is never to eat more fat. Eat more fat is never the solution. Okay, I'm being quite binary there or whatever, but basically it's never the solution. People like to eat fat. People love to find excuses and reasons why they should eat fat. They don't really like fat. What they like is a combination of fat with something else. So whether it's fat with sugar, fat with salt, fat with herbs and spices and stuff like that. They like that. They don't really like fat on its own. And natural sources of high levels of fat, things like avocados, people don't tend to eat them on their own, but some people do. And if you get like quite a good variety, nuts are quite good, but they, in terms of a food source, nuts are around one time a year for a very short couple of weeks. It's not really a food that we would have relied on for very long periods of time. Other sources of fat, animal products, obviously a lot of issues with animal products, and other sources of fat, oils, not so great. But really the source of fat that we want to get is the fat that comes in the form of the food that we are best adapted to consume. Because all foods, all living things, everything's got fat in it. You don't need to worry too much about this stuff. Like, oh, where do I get my fat? Well, you don't get fat out of some other food. You get it out of the same thing that is the thing that you eat as an animal. And the cows don't eat grass and then go somewhere else to get their fats. The pigs, well, I don't know about pigs, but the horses don't, they eat grass as well. The ant eaters, they get their fats from ants, I guess. Animals have limited, sources of food. They're not eating absolutely everything out there. The mistaken idea is that human beings are omnivores. We're not really omnivores, we're frugivores. And although that nuts and seeds would have been part of our diet and something we'd have consumed, we're not a specialist in finding, utilising, living on those things. If we try to live on nuts, it's not a great experience. Human beings are designed, our design is that we should live on carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the source of fuel that we require. This brain we've got, this is not a brain that you can't use nuts to fuel this brain. I mean, that's where the phrase nuts comes from. Like, why do you say, oh, that guy's nuts? Nuts because like he's been eating so many nuts that he went crazy. Like you don't want to live on nuts. You're just putting on, all you're doing when you're increasing the amount of fat in your diet is you're increasing the amount of fat in your bloodstream. That is all you're doing, and increasing calories and making your chance of putting on weight increase. That's all you're doing. I get it. It tastes good. You add tahini to things and it tastes better, or it's more appealing. And then you feel terrible. It frustrates me so much, a little bit, that we go on and talk about fruits and vegetables and all this stuff, and so many of the people I know in the raw vegan world, like, almost couldn't live without having tahini in their salad. Like, it's just ridiculous. The idea that we talk about the healthy benefits of diet and then we just smash the healthy benefits by filling ourselves with tahini and oil and all. Because to me, tahini is oil. Nut butters are oil. Like, it's basically the same thing. It's not that you can't have these things now and again. It just shouldn't be the staple of your diet. If it's making up a big percentage of your diet, it's a bad situation. So whenever someone has an idea and they put an idea across, right, and the idea is blah 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 blah, the answer is more fat. That is wrong. And some of you are going to tell me all sorts of little fairy stories about how you know someone that had fat and it saved their life. You know someone. It's fat is more calories. That is the main reason that it helps people with different things. Oh, he was losing weight until he had more fat. Well, of course, because he added in more calories into his diet. He didn't have any energy until he added more fat. Yes, because he added in calories to his diet. But if you then compare someone that has a diet with a high amount of fat as calories to someone that has a higher amount of carbohydrates as calories, there isn't a comparison between those diets. The high carbohydrate diet is the better diet. And so it worries me that people put across this thing of we need to eat more fats. No, we don't. Who needs to eat more fats? The problem is fat. Like the standard diet out there, the diet that causes disease, illness, chronic disease, like people don't have any energy, desire to do anything, that diet is about 35% fat. Some people might be at 40%, you know, some people who are really pushing it might be higher than that, but most people fall around an average of 35 to 40%. It's not a high amount. It's not 80% like people on the carnivore diet or something. It's 35%, and majority of the rest of it, another 55 to 60%, is coming from carbohydrates and a small amount from protein. But it's a proportion of the diet. But those carbohydrates are mostly refined carbohydrates. Sugar being a big part of a lot of people's diet, their calories, and sugar and refined carbohydrates, and also some whole carbohydrates, but people don't eat enough whole carbohydrates in general. That is the standard diet. That is the diet that leads towards disease, leads towards poor performance for a lot of people. We don't want to mimic that. We're not looking to increase our fat levels towards 35, 40%, 50%. That's so easy to do on a raw vegan diet. It's not true. That's incredibly easy to do. You get a problem there, which is a lot of the raw food promotions in the past. When you increase your fat and then you're filling your bloodstream with fat, you know how long it takes for your bloodstream to get rid of all that fat? When you do a tahini salad, when you do the nut butters, nut pâtés, and I'm not saying I don't eat those things once in a while. Kind of always regret it a little bit for a day or so, but you know, you're not, fair enough, you have something once in a while. But when it becomes a lifestyle, your bloodstream's almost never clear of fat. That's what most people are experiencing. You know, the blood is just not flowing. The oxygen is not getting to where it should. The sugar is not getting to the cells efficiently. One of the number one things when I came into this lifestyle, everyone was the method, the way that I was taught about this was be aware of not eating too much fat. You must eat enough carbohydrates instead of going towards fats, because your performance will decline. You will not feel good. You will not last on this diet. And I've been through the experiments, by the way. Like I've done the super low fat, and I've done the higher fat, super high fat at times. And definitely, low fat is the way to go, or appropriate level of fat, as Don Bennett would say. It's not a high fat or a low fat diet. It's an appropriate level of fat. It is a low level of fat. So most people are about 35%. We want to get, the maximum is 10% of total calories. Now the reason that it's very easy for that to shoot up is because fat is double the calories per gram or per milliliter per gram as carbohydrate is. You know, it's double. I think it's 1 gram of fat is like 9 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories. So eating the same quantity of fat and carbohydrate, you're eating double the calories. When we go to refined oils, you know, it's the most calorific food that you can get. And in a situation where most people are not looking to gain weight, why is anyone including the most calorific food that is possible for human beings to create in their diet? It's madness. But then for raw vegans to add it to the diet, it's just like silly. It's like, why would you get so close to a healthy diet and eliminate all these things and then add in oil and like squash its potential to actually sustain you? The big problem with everyone is not eating enough fruit. Not eating anywhere near enough fruit. And if you think you're eating enough fruit, you need to stop thinking and actually work out if you are. It needs to be enough carbohydrate that covers your needs. And if you're desiring fat, that means you've not eaten enough fruit. Quite frankly, it's not your body talking. Your body doesn't have a clue what's happening. Body's very intelligent, but it's not able to, can't make your decisions for you when it comes to what you're going to buy in the supermarket. It's not got some magical mechanism. There's not. What do you think that is? Some kind of unconscious aspect that's like memorized all the foods you've eaten and has a storage of all their nutritional values? That doesn't exist. If that existed, there'd be no health problems. Like, you have to make conscious choices about your health. You're not in an environment that supports your health. You're not in a culture that supports your health. You have to break free of that culture. You have to break free of the brainwashing. You have to break free of the environment that's constantly, literally feeding you and figuratively feeding you with these bad choices. Looking at McDonald's right now, it's over here. There's a lot of people still going to McDonald's. Every one of these people knows that McDonald's. It's funny, I was thinking about this morning. McDonald's has probably got, of all restaurants in the world, it's got like the worst brand ever, right? If you think about like what people think about McDonald's, if you ask people in the street, what do you think about McDonald's? People would say it's unhealthy, it's this and that. You know, it's there's a whole load of bad information about McDonald's. Lots of bad information, lots of bad stories, lots of bad press, and it's still full, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because it's just right there. That's one of the things. It's there all over the place. When people get hungry, they don't really. They're not able to make good choices when people get hungry. It becomes irrational choices. And all these people that think McDonald's are so unhealthy and all that, they're the people that are going, you know. So, regardless of all that, what am I trying to say to you? Like, it just frustrates me. Like, don't think that more fat is the answer. You got some problem, oh, I'm feeling like this, feeling like that. Tired, lethargic, my skin is this and that. Oh, you need to add more fat. That was what did it for me. It's not what works. Eating more fat, and what they mean is what they tend to mean. More fats. What they mean is more overt fats. Not eat more fruit so that you get fat, the appropriate level of fat, but actually eat overt fats. You know, so. It doesn't work. Believe me, it doesn't work. You can do the experiment yourself. Like you can do the experiment yourself if you like. If you go on a high fat diet for a while, just do it for a while. All you get is this up and down yo-yo feeling. That's what it feels like. Because your bloodstream is it's full of fat. You can't efficiently process sugar. You can't efficiently transport oxygen. You got no efficiency in your bloodstream. You can't exercise properly, or as well as you would like. You know, so it worries me that raw vegans are getting into this idea. People that aren't quite all that educated, maybe aren't that far down in the path, are telling people, yeah, more fat's okay. From what perspective is it okay? Because all the vegan doctors that we're aware of, they're saying 10% fat maximum, literally. In a diet, I don't know why. Why would their diet be different to ours? It doesn't. So 10% maximum. Not eating nuts. There's a big debate right now, interestingly enough, with Jeff Nelson from VegSource, who's been really trying to go after, what's his name? Joel Fuhrman, because Joel Fuhrman's been putting out this information oh, we need to have more nuts, we need to have more fats, this is going to protect you against Alzheimer's and all this stuff. And Jeff Nelson's like, wait, where's the information on that? Yeah, there's studies that say nuts are good, but that's all from the nut industry. You know, it's all paid for by research, by basically, you know, these industries, essentially the organizations are created and they pour money into these organizations. All the people involved in that industry put money towards organizations whose job is to put out good press about those products, and maybe also to if they've got enough money, you know, to make studies and things like that, and fund studies and research, and then when that research gets made, to put that research out, like PR organizations. I was trying to suggest to a guy at Woodstock, he was interested in trying to fund something, and I was saying, well, what we need to create is maybe a PR organization where we're like putting positive information about this diet and lifestyle out into the world all the time. I don't know if you like that idea or not, but anyway, this is really what's required, right? But this is what these companies do. This is what nut companies and everything, and that's all fine. You know, it's not a bad thing. But higher fat diets are the problem, not the answer. It's not the answer to your health. No, and you might not want to hear this. A lot of you are going to say, yeah, I'm not going to stop eating tahini and stuff. Yeah, okay, don't. But that's just because you like eating it. It's not because it's better for your health. Don't lie to yourself. Don't be in denial about it. You know, apples are better than tahini. Oranges are better than nuts. Pears are better than oils. And even, you know, peaches are better than avocados, if you want to put it like that. So what have we learned today? Well, I don't know. I mean, it just like, I don't know. People have found something that's kind of worked for them maybe for a while, but it's not going to work as well as the diet that your body is adapted to work on. It's a carbohydrate diet is what we need. And that's not even my information. That is mainstream science information. Mainstream information. You ever seen the healthy plate? The healthy plate is fruits and vegetables, whole carbohydrates, then like a 20 or 30% is a whole bunch of other garbage that we don't need. But most of it is carbohydrates and fruits and vegetables, complex carbohydrates. But there's no reason that a complex carbohydrate can't be replaced for simple carbohydrates in the form of fruit. No reason. So the diet should be a high carbohydrate diet, fruits and vegetables. It's a healthy diet of human beings. Okay everyone, thank you for watching. Leave your comments below, argue with me, tell me I'm wrong, give me your research and all that. But on a raw vegan diet, you don't want to go towards eating higher and higher levels of fat. It gets out of control. Does it mean you can't have a little bit and all this and half an avocado and all that? And you know, you're gonna do that and experiment over time. But it's so easy to overeat on fat. You need to, you know, keep it under control. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in another video. Some links down below if you're interested in the fruit festival, if you're interested in my other videos, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.